Welcome to Papercraft Possibilities. I am Susan, and today we're going to have some fun recording some great pictures that my husband and I took on our honeymoon, which was in 2009. We went on a four-wheeling quad tour of the backcountry in Kauai. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Not great pictures, but they bring back lots of memories. On this tour, they take you by some waterfalls. Here's my husband jumping in the waterfall. And then I came back absolutely filthy from the mud that you go through because of the rain in Kauai. So, and here's kind of in the back country that we went through. And we went on a rope swing and jumped into the river. So fun pictures. So today I want to record those. I've brought out two inks that I want to use. And I'm going to, interestingly enough, use this Latte Love stamp set from Close to My Heart. Here I go again, Stampin' Up! Because it has some things in here that resemble mud. So here's some splashes. Here's like a coffee ring, but it could be mud again. So I'm gonna use this set. Here is the paper collection I'm going to use. And I think I'm gonna use this mud. This is supposed to be coffee splatters, but I'm gonna use that. So I think you'll see that come in here. This is from 49 and Market. These are some rub-ons, and I'm pretty sure I wanna use this one. So we'll see how that goes. And this is from the collection Artistry Sunburst, Classic Rub-On Transfer Sheet. Aren't they fun? There's a few, I think, are there two sheets in here? Oh, it's just one. It's a 112 by 12 sheet. But I think this will be perfect because we're in the back country in Kauai. And again, here's that. I have just some scraps left, so hopefully they'll work. But doesn't that kind of look like mud? So I thought that was perfect for four-wheeling quads. And just some papers that I think I want to use with this. So let me pull out my sheets or my boards to work on. And I'm gonna roll that intro and we'll get started. All right, I've brought in my Versamats to work on, and these two scraps had a flat edge to them. So I thought about bringing them to the center, and I kind of like the geometric pattern that it gives there. I had some, I think this is old Olive Cardstock, and I thought just bringing in a touch of green there would be fun. So I'm gonna keep that there, I think, but I need to make different cuts because they're not cut. This one's okay. This one's not cut correctly, if you can kind of see down here at the bottom. And I have quite a few pictures, so I'm not sure I'm going to use them all, but I do have some favorites. So, let me see how many of these work. I don't want to cover up so much of this design, this coffee splash, if you will, and we're going to call it the mud splash because it kind of tells the story of the page. So let me see what I can do here. What I've learned with rub-offs, just FYI, is I take a stapler and I'm always going to keep the pieces together. Because if you don't, then when you go to store this again, then your rub-offs are going to stick to whatever you have. So, and as I use it, I'll add more staples where they need to be. And I need to get to this one in the center. So let's see how I can do that without causing any issues. So I don't want to disturb any of these other rub-ons. Rub-ons. It's hard to see on camera, but there's a little bit of an edge to each of these rub-ons. So I'm trying to follow that. And by doing this, it'll give me a better idea of how much space I need to allow on my page. And they always rub-offs will come with something like this, so you just take and rub it really good. You could also use, what I use all the time is what I have, one of the pieces I have for my Cricut. So whatever floats your boat. So let's just put that all aside for right now, all those things. And then I had a frame that was actually part of the same collection from 49 in Market. And I thought about using that over here. The only thing I don't like is it kind of fades into the background. So I might need to do another layer, a matte on this photo, so it stands out a little bit more from the page. So if I'm going to use that. Now here are some things I've pulled out that I'm thinking about using on this page here. Put it on screen will help. This is all part of that collection that I really need to use up. So I thought about using this for a title, but I don't see a place where it would really work. So let's put that aside for just a minute. Here's some, you know, gems that came in that collection. I may or may not use those. This, I just love this little, you know, it's like a file folder. And I could put some pictures into this. But gosh, I want these to all be visible because they need to tell the story. And these are the memories that my husband and I remember the most because we came back and we were just covered with mud. So let me put that aside for a minute. Then we had a couple more frames. And my problem with the frames is if I use them on this, they're just going to disappear into the background. I think that I'm better off just using... I'll just put maybe another matte on these that makes them stand out. Maybe I will use, I think it's Mossy Meadow. Let me bring that in just to see what that looks like. I have a scrap of that over here. Let me see what Mossy Meadow will look like. Just to give me an idea. It's either going to be that or the Old Olive. I'm not sure I like two of the greens. So we'll see how that goes. But see, this though has two tones of green, so maybe we'll do that. I have one more of these frames. Might be able to use that there. I don't think I had shown this picture before, but this is the picture of me on the quads, and if you know me, this was really an unusual thing for me to be doing. So that's a picture I cherish. Okay, so I like that, but I want, if they're gonna do this frame, I want another one like that over here. So we'll see how that goes, maybe up there. I want to do a quick voiceover here and let you know some of the decisions I made on this page and why. I'm just bringing in some of the ephemera. There, I brought in the flowers and they just look way too feminine and pretty for this page. So I pull those back. Then the ferns at the top I pull out. They're just too much. They look cluttered to me. But you'll see here in a minute, the ones down on the right-hand side in my right hand, those are good. I think those are the same size. They work out perfect, so I pull the others. The ones in the bottom right hand, those palms I keep in. I really like those. So I'm figuring out what stays and what goes. And then the banner at the top right page, I pull out. It was just way too hard to read. It says best ever, which is true. The day was awesome. But I come in later with a different banner that is much more visual and makes an appearance on the page and stands out. So let's go ahead and move forward with the next section of the video. I've decided to come in and do some ink treatments over on these pages. So I've brought in my Mossy Meadow, which is the same color I have on the matte of my pictures. So I'm just gonna do some, I'm gonna bring it around on all three edges of the white. And I've been testing it here just to see how dark I want it. So here goes nothing, everyone. You know what I'm gonna do is I want to kind of block that off. And we were really out in the middle of nowhere on this ride. I guess it was private land that they've actually filmed several movies on. But this tour group has permission to use this land. If I were to go back to Kauai, which we're hoping to do here in several weeks, I'm hoping to do this tour again. I would love it. I was a little bit better shape then. So now what I want to do is I'm going to take away the Mossy Meadow and I'm going to bring in some, I'm going to get rid of this on my mat. I'm going to bring in some pecan pie and some, let's just uncover one ink for right now. I need bigger things. There we go. I need splatters like you're going through the mud. That's the look I was going for. So I've used my water pen. Okay, so there is that, and I used pecan pie. Let me put my toys away for right now. I'm going to be using this on the other page, so I don't want them too far away. Put that off screen there for a minute. Let me wipe this up so I don't get it on anything. Okay, I brought you back to do some stamping. So I'm going to bring in the pecan pie and the early espresso. And I think I'm going to do some second and third generation stamping. I'm bringing in this again so I can see what I want to do. So on the pecan pie, I think I want to do my splatters on a second generation. So what that means is I'm going to load up my full ink and then I'm going off here. Okay, I had to go. My husband was at the door. So we're going to try this up here. Maybe some down in here. I think I'm going to do some journaling here. So I'm going to try and avoid that area. Let's do one up here. And maybe one down here in the corner coming off of the picture. All right, so let's bring those who are actually first generation. Forgot to stamp off, guys. So let's do this again. And let's stamp off again. All right, so that does that one. So I think now I want to come in with the early espresso, and definitely, because this is the early espresso here, I think I want to do second generation. So 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, and let's try that again. Stamp off. And I think I want to do one going off the page. So let me turn this over here. I'm done with splattering and painting and just playing. Kind of fun. Now I'm ready to put on my rub-on. So I made a point when I was doing my inking up is just to hold my pictures where I wanted them. And then I got an estimate as to where I wanted to do my splattering. Up here I've purposely left it light because I believe I'm going to put a title in here possibly. So we'll see how that goes. If not, I'll do something else up in here. But for right now, this is where I want to put my rub-on. So I'm just peeling off the backing on this. And I want to be real careful as to where I lay this at. I kind of want the bottom even, meaning right here. So I'm just laying that down lightly. And I'm going to use my Cricut tool to do this. I am doing this on my Versamat, which has a little bit of a give to it, which is nice. It is used for stamping. That's what these came from close to my heart, and I'm hoping that Stampin' Up will come out with something that is just like this. Because those of us who came from close to my heart use these every day. All right, let me just lift up a small corner of this. And let me get out my craft knife or my spatula. Just want to see where we're at. I think we're going to be okay. I just do this slowly in case I need to lay this back down. You lay it right back down in the same place. All right, let's pull from the bottom now. I'm just rubbing my finger over the outside pieces just to make sure that they're down. Looks like some of it must have come up right there, but I think we're okay. I like how it blends into the paper, how it was just, it looks like it was part of the paper, like a DSP, a designer series paper. And I do like the fact that it is more or less, has a matte finish. So again, it doesn't stand out too much. What I'm doing is I'm just going back and rubbing this again. I'm seeing a few pieces that aren't quite rubbed down enough. So we can make sure we get that down. And there we go. We got it. So I'm gonna start putting all of the pieces together. I'm gonna bring in my other page and let's get the show going and finish up our pages. All right, I started to get to the end of this project and it wasn't feeling finished to me, like I was missing some things. And I know I want to do a little bit of journaling over here, but it might just be a date and that it was on our honeymoon. Kind of up in the air about that. But what I ended up doing is coming in with, let me show you what I've used here. These are called Nested Essential Dies from Stampin' Up. And I've come in here with the second smallest die in the banners. And I've cut them out of, I'm dropping the name of the color, but cardstock. Then I brought in my trusty alphabet, which works out perfectly, excuse me, on these banners. So I think I'm going to do that and I'm going to string it across there. And this one's called Mini Alphabet Dies. What I like about this is all of the alphabet cuts out at once. So I put my extras back here that I don't use and it's awesome. And here's some, you know, other types to the alphabet, that an ampersand, that kind of thing. So that's over there. Then I wanted to string these across, but I wanted something that was not real pretty. I wanted something that was more rustic and string. And I tried just one piece of string here, and it was just not enough. So I've cut 3 different pieces here of the same twine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little puddle here of some glue. And I'm just working here on a Post-it note, and I'll just throw this away when I'm done. I'm going to come in a little from the ends. My goodness, that won't go in there. Come back to that in a minute. I'm going to run my fingers through here, my thumb and my index finger, and I'm just going to come through and put some glue on these to kind of keep them together. So I'm getting the glue on my fingers and then kind of twisting the twine. And I'm going to show you here in a minute where I got this twine from, because it's so affordable. It's from Stampin' Up. This one is called Baker's Twine Essential Pack. And you get all those different colors in here. I have gone in with my glue dots, which are these. I've applied some of them to the back of my rope after I measured where I want my letters at. And I've come in with my 3-dimensional dots, and I put them down a little bit lower, and I'm going to put some glue dots up in the high end of this, and you'll see why here in a minute. So K-A-U, I need to start with the U, right? K-A-U-A-I. Need to make sure that one's in the center. So let's go ahead and put a glue dot kind of at the top of this one. So you can barely see it. Let me see if I can get on camera. It's right there. And then I have my dimensional dots there. I want to make sure that falls in the center. And the reason why I'm putting the dimensional dots here is I want the letters to fall this way, so it looks like they're hanging from the string. So K-A, I need an A. Let's do my A next. There's 2 A's. Okay, let's get that glue dot in there. And bring it down just a little bit more. I think that's good. And I can bring in my K or my A, it doesn't matter. Was this the A? No, K, that's fine. Put my glue dot on there. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, I need another A. Feel like I'm playing Vanna White. Take A for $2.50. Oh, it's a vowel. I have to buy a vowel, right? Okay, K-A-U-A. And this better be an I or I'm in trouble. It's an I. Okay, and this one I want to kind of lay over the picture a little. Is that coming up enough? I think it is. And I think I might want to put one more glue dot on these little knots that are at the end. Just want to be careful with them because I don't want them sticking to my page protector once I put the page in there. That one's good. And our last one. And then our involved page will be behind us and in our books for everyone to enjoy for years to come. Okay, I might, well, I know I'll add at least a date down here and that it was our honeymoon. So other than that, we're done, and I'll have the pictures at the end of the video here. And if you could do me a favor and hit that subscribe and that like button, that means a lot to the algorithm over at YouTube. And also all the links to the products will be listed below and over on my blog too. And I'd appreciate using those links. And I hope you found value in this. And I hope your holiday season's going really, really well. Until next time, you all have a great day. Bye-bye.